Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So this is gonna be a pretty crazy story, and this is gonna be a story about my first ever about my first ever girlfriend. Now, this is not just gonna be this one video, and that's gonna be it. This is gonna be a four-part series, and what that basically means that every part to this ex-girlfriend series is gonna be about one girl each video. Each video is gonna be about one girl, and it's gonna be four parts because I've had four girlfriends, and all of them have broken up with me. And this is gonna be the first one. So this is the first one, and so let's just get right into it. So this story all takes place back in seventh grade. Now, seventh grade was a pretty crazy year. A lot of crazy things happened in seventh grade. And this wasn't really towards like the start, this is towards like the end of seventh grade. So anyway, um, me and this girl, now we're gonna give her the fake name of Ashley. Yeah, let's go with Ashley. So we have Ashley, and Ashley was a pretty normal girl. She seemed pretty normal. She didn't seem like a bad girl at all. And I don't remember the exact class. I think it might have been math that we had. And we didn't really talk much. Like we would have occasional conversations, but we didn't have many conversations together. So we didn't really know each other very well. Until one day, I'm at my locker at the end of the day, and I'm putting some stuff away. Um, I'm grabbing my I'm grabbing things I need to take home, and Ashley walks by. And she walks by and she doesn't even stop. She just drops a piece of paper right in front of me and then just walks off. And I'm like, "What the heck?" So I pick up the paper obviously, and I open it up and I read it, and it's her phone number, and she says, "Text me. I have a question." So immediately the first thought is, "Oh my god. This girl wants to be my girlfriend." So obviously I'm all hyped up, and I had track practice that same day. So after that, I went to track, and I'm starting to brag it to everybody about, yo, this girl gave me her number. I think I'm gonna have a girlfriend. And my one friend cracks a joke saying, yo, bro, let me get that number and let me make sure it's real. And I'm like, no, dude, I don't think that's gonna happen. And I didn't trust anybody. So what I do is I keep the paper in my pocket for the entire time at track. And then when I get home, I text her and this is how it went. It basically went, "Hey, this is Jacob. What's your question?" And then she responds with, "Hey, do you like me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then she says, "Oh, and then I say, "Do you like me?" And she's like, "Well, yeah." And then I say, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And she's like, "Yeah, I would love that." And that's basically how it went. There was no first date, there was no talking, just straight up, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And it's just straight up, "Yes." So, now I'm all hyped up and I tell my entire family, I'm like, "Yo, guys, I got a girlfriend." And essentially, we just start talking every single day. It is like nonstop, just us talking all the time. And we are texting like 24/7 all night. And it's just great. And come towards um come towards a few days later, she's like, "Hey Jacob, you should get Instagram." And I'm like, "Okay." So I get Instagram, and that's the story about how I got Instagram. My first girlfriend was like, "Hey, you should get Instagram," and I got it. So anyway, going forward, this is like what 3 weeks in a relationship, and things are going great. And there's this one guy now. We're not gonna reveal his real name, so we're just gonna call him James. Yeah, James, close enough. So we have James, and James seemed pretty normal. Now, he had a girlfriend at this time, so I didn't think that he was going to be like much of a problem at all. So, anyway, fast forward like 2 weeks in a relationship. So now it's been like a month or a month and a half. And basically, we would just say like she just seemed to lose interest. She did not seem like she was like in she wasn't feeling it anymore. And she just felt like she was just losing interest in me, and she didn't want to talk to me much because basically what would happen was that we would send because after every I love you, after we would text I love you, we would send crazy amount of hearts, and it would just go on for a while. And I'll try to find a text message back in because I still have the text messages to this day of like the crazy amount of hearts we would send. And if I can find one, I'll put a picture up right here. So yeah, but she would just stop sending those, and it would just be gradually less hearts. And I was very confused about that. I didn't think much of it though. I was thinking, okay, maybe she just wasn't feeling to put so many hearts at this time. But it would happen like over a course of days, and it would just be in like a row, and I'm like, okay, something's not right. But I didn't think much of it because obviously I was a 14-year-old kid, not knowing like what was gonna happen. I should have taken the hint if I was smart back in back in back in 7th grade. And one day she texts me in the morning and she's like, "Hey, can we talk about something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, anything." Now, me being a 14-year-old kid, and this being my first relationship, I was thinking that she was gonna be like, "Hey, you want to hang out this day, or you want to go see this movie this day?" Because we would go out to dinner, and we would go out and watch movies, and we would just do things that couples would do, basic relationship shit. And basically, I'm like, "Yeah, we can talk about whatever you want. What is it?" And she just drops it straight up. She's like, "Hey, I'm just not feeling it right now, and I don't know what's going on, but I just think I need some space." Now, we all know what a girl needing space means. It means she wants to break up, obviously, or she just doesn't want to be in a relationship anymore, or anything like that. Just basically means she wants to break up. And me, I'm like, okay, if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here. I'm like, if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here. And she's like, "Are you even listening to what I'm saying? Like, are you even looking at the text?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Now, me obviously being 14, I'm like, "Yeah, dude, she just needs some space, but if she ever needs someone to talk to, I'm always here." And now obviously in her perspective, she's like, "Okay." I actually straight up tell him, and she's like, "Okay, listen, I just don't think this relationship is working out, and I'm just not feeling it. I just think we need to take some time away from each other." And when she said that, I'm like, "Oh, that's what she means." And then I go into my room and I proceed to cry for like an hour. And it was honestly the worst. It was the worst weeks of my life because it took genuinely weeks to get over this girl. It was like the worst time. It was like the worst, like 3, 4 weeks of my life. I was absolutely distraught. I didn't have I didn't have the energy to do literally anything. Thank God I wasn't doing YouTube at that time. I probably wouldn't have uploaded for months on end or something like that. But yeah, I would general idea. I was very sad over her, and I just didn't want to talk to anybody. Now my family obviously tried to make me happy, but that didn't really work much because I was like, I just want to grow in my life. And then fast forward like a month and a half into after us breaking up, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting over it. And then my friend texts me one day, and he's like, "Yo, dude, I need to talk to you about Ashley." No, obviously me, I didn't want to talk about Ashley. I'm like, okay, maybe it's something good, maybe there's some good news coming out of this. And he's like, all right, so James. You remember James? And I'm like, yeah, I remember James. What about him? And he's like, well, when you and Ashley were dating, um, her and James would be doing stuff behind your back. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, they would like make out and they would just hang out with each other while you and her were dating. And I'm like, you're kidding, right? Because I thought he was just making a joke. I thought he was making like, oh yeah, Ashley and James are dating, and I'm like, dude, he's obviously making a joke because I was thinking in my mind, yeah, dude, James has a girlfriend. So I text him and I'm like, yeah, dude, funny joke, but James has a girlfriend, and he's like, yeah, he had a girlfriend, and I'm like, what? And my friend's like, yeah, dude, um, they broke up, and then James went over to Ashley. I almost said her real name, and her and Ashley would do stuff behind your back, and I'm like, oh my god. And honestly, I didn't think he was joking at this point because I don't think he would go on for a joke this long. I was waiting for him to be like, yeah, he's all a joke, but he was just dead serious the entire time. And I'm like, oh my god, this cannot be happening right now. And this is my first relationship. So not only in my first relationship did the girl break up with me, but I come to find out a month and a half later that she was cheating on me too. That she was dating someone while we were dating. Now, I don't know if that's true to this day because it was my friend and I never talked to her about it. In fact, I haven't talked to her at all for a while until I prank called her on my 17th birthday. On my 17th birthday, I had a bunch of friends over and I called her up because I still had her number. But yeah, essentially, first relationship, she broke up with me, and then to come find out that she cheated on me. And basically, that was the end of that relationship. Now, I'm probably not gonna have the second ex-girlfriend um video slash story out next week because I have another story I want to tell. It's about something that happened at the mall literally a few days ago. But yeah, I'll have the ex-girlfriend series part 2 out soon. So yeah, that's essentially the end of this video. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. See y'all later.
Looking up and I'm like, what's up? They leave me out for the dead and now they know they're fucked. All my texts are unread, that's how